Magnet Force, Applejack versus Sugarcoat of Duelist Friendship Cup, Part 1. Applejack life points, 8,000. Sugarcoat points, like 8,000. Applejack's portrait lit up on display. Jacqueline Apple will take the first turn. I wish they stopped using that line, Applejack muttered as she picked up her opening hand. She looked at her cards and grabbed one. Here I go! I summon Petrified Alpha Scorpio! Black Scorpion appeared in front of Applejack. Roots on his back, running up a plant sprouting from his finger trail. Attack points 1,200. I had to face Scorpio's effect. I'll discard Predplant Torch types. The special summon a Predplant monster from my deck. I call out Predplant Dragon and a Cobra. A snake with a body like plant vine slithered in front of Applejack. Its jaws powered like flower petals. Defense points 1,500. Sugarcoat tilted her head. Petaplants. Interesting. Applejack grinned. Worried? No. You should, boy. I think not. Sugarcoat posed her glasses up close. Continue, please. Applejack's grin faded. Just ribbing you, but fine. That's what you want. Since I summoned Darlingtonian's Cobra from my deck, I'm gonna add a fusion card from my deck to my hand. She held her cards and ejected. I take this! Polarization! Then I set a card and end my turn. Applejack lowered her dual disc as the card into her eyes. Go for it, girl. Naturally. Sugarcoat swiftly drew, slid her card to her hand, and withdrew another. I had to fake the speed spell, magnetic field. Pillars of shining gray steel rose in the shape of a cross around Sugarcoat, sparks coursing along their length. As long as this card is in play, I am allowed to revive a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster in the graveyard, as long as I control an Earth attribute Rock-type monster. Sugarcoat held up another card. I summon Delta, the Magnet Warrior. Trace of electricity rolled across the ground, tracing out the image of a monster, solidified flash of silver light. It was a spindly robot, limbs with circular steel cable connecting hands, feet, and a head of silver blue metal and magnetic bars running along the edges. A horseshoe magnet around a triangular prism of metal made its head, yellow eyes blinking on metal. Attack points 1,600. Diddle this beat and ejected a card. Since I just summoned Delta, I used this effect to send a Magnet Warrior from my deck to the graveyard. I choose Alpha, the electromagnetic warrior. I then immediately use the effect of the magnetic field to revive Alpha to my field. The pillars of steel shot bolts of lightning to the ground next to Delta. Another robot magnet was infested, covered in bulky gray armor with magnets on its joints. It held out its hands and summoned a shield with a magnet. Its staff consisting of a magnet with 2 long electrical coils, swung them out. Attack point 1,700. Sugarcoat reached her deck. Alpha's summon triggers its effect, letting me add a Magnet Warrior from my deck to my hand. I used this, Berserkion, the electromagnetic warrior. She placed the offered card in her hand and pointed forward. And now, I attack Ultra Scorpio with Delta, the Magnet Warrior. Delta swung its hands together and created an electrical field between its magnetic limbs, sending a surge of lightning across the field. Applejack flung her hand up. I had to fit my trap! Play flu time! This gives Ultra Scorpion an extra 500 attack points. Yellow tendrils sprouted up from the scorpion's back and twined around his tail. Attack points 1,200, now 1,700. Delta's attack struck the scorpion and recoiled. Electricity traveled along the spine, collected at the plant tip of its tail, and fired back. Delta convulsed with impact and exploded. Sugarcoat life points 7,900. First hit! Randall cheered from the sidelines. Sugarcoat frowned. I activate the second effect of magnetic field. Since a monster that battled with an Earth-type attribute Rock-type monster in mind was not destroyed, it returns to its owner's hand. Applejack's Scorpio turned to a orb of light and lowered to the ground. Its card and Applejack's duel just lining up. Phooey! Applejack grumbled and picked up a card. Sugarcoat smirked. You won't defeat my deck with tricks like that so easily. I hope not. The crystal pipe after all, Applejack said with a smirk of her own. For now, I continue my turn. Alpha, the electromagnetic warrior, attacks Darlingtonian Cobra. Alpha ran forward, spinning its sword of magnetic coils in the air, right down on the Cobra. The snake grins and lit up in lightning before exploding. Drink! Applejack life points 7,300. I set 2 cards and end my turn. Sugarcoat across her arms. Make your move. I will! Applejack drew with a flourish. I'll start by activating Predator Pruning. I'll use it to revive Darling Cobra from Graveyard. Applejack's field shook and ripped over a chasm. Darlingtonian Cobra slithered out from within it. Applejack picked the card from her hand and swung it to her dual disc. Next, I defeat polarization! I have to use Dr. Cobra with Orpheus Scorpio! The crowd cheered as Applejack's two monsters swirled together in a vortex of green light. I have to use my stinging predator and my venomous predator and let a fist new plant bloom! Applejack held her card up. I fuse to summon Prayer Plant Chimera Festa! Large coil of vines burst from the chasm and played out in the field. Large circular mouth with ringed teeth, surrounded by plump pink petals, was at the end of the largest of vines. Two smaller mouths rose up beside the smaller vines. Attack points 2500. Applejack pointed at Alpha on Circuit's field. I had to defeat Chimera Festa's effect. I could target any monster in the field with a lower level than it. Banish it! Chimera's field lashed out with two mouth vines towards Alpha. I chained with Alpha to let Applejack Warrior's effect. Sugarcoat snapped her fingers, and Alpha shattered into scrappings of metal and sparks of light. By offering Alpha as a tribute during either of our turns, I could summon a level 4 Magnet Warrior from the deck. I'd use another copy of Delta the Magnet Warrior and summon it in defense mode. The shrapnel of Alpha's destruction congregated an orb of metal and lightning, reforming into a new Delta, nearly with a barrier of electricity around it. Since the target of your effect has left the field, it is nullified. The mouths of Chimera Festa struck Delta's barrier and recoiled with high-pitched shrieks. I also get to activate Delta's effect since it was summoned. I send Beta, the electromagnetic warrior, to the graveyard. Applejack pouted, shook her head. Fine. I'll just get rid of your monster the hard way. Chimera Elsa attacks Delta! Chimera Elsa lashed out its tentacles again, shattered Delta into shards of metal. My turn. And it is my turn again. Sugarcoat drew and tapped her dual disc screen. I'll begin by activating my trap card, Magnet Conversion. This lets me select up to 3 Magnet Warriors in my graveyard and return them to my hand. She tapped the screen 2 more times, the card sliding out of her dual disc as she did, and held them up. I'll take Beta and my 2 Deltas, and then I'll summon Delta to the field. As the Silver Electromagnetic Warrior appeared on the field in front of Sugarcoat in the center of sparkles, she ignored it in favor of pressing 2 prompts that popped up on her dual disc. I activate Delta's effect to send Gamma the Electromagnetic Warrior from my deck to the graveyard. Then, use the effect of Magnetic Field to revive Gamma. Sugarcoat's newest monster manifested from the lightning of Magnetic Field. It was a short, stocky robot with thick armor and dull gold, a magnet forming its collar, and a magnet mounted on its back of each large fist. Defense points 2000. Summoning Gamma activates its effect, letting me summon Beta from my hand. This then triggers Beta's effect, adding Alpha the Magnet Warrior from my deck to my hand. Sugarcoat smiled, looked about the 3 monsters hovering in front of her. And now, all 3 pieces are in place. She pulled a card from her hand and held it up. I banish Alpha the Electromagnetic Warrior from my graveyard, and Beta and Gamma the Electromagnetic Warriors from my field. The special summon! The 2 monsters in the field turned into orbs of lightning and swirl around her. Alpha's hologram emerging from her dual disc and turning into lightning to join them. Come forth, Berserkion, the Electromagnetic Warrior! She then slammed her card into her dual disc. Orbs of lightning around her circled higher into the air and collided in a flash of light. The orb grew larger, the air crackling, sparks shooting out of it. It gleamed and exploded outward to reveal a massive, robotic monster. Its limbs were armored in red, silver, and blue. The metal curved and gleaming. Sparks flew from electrical coils embedded on his shoulders and running along his arms. A sword forged from a metal rod with electrical coils appeared in his hand. Thrust the blade out to summon lightning to it. Metallic clang echoing across the field. Attack points 3000. Rarity geeked. Look at the size of that behemoth! The robot thudded down in front of Sugarcoat, the ground shaking. She held her hand up. I'm sure you know what happens next. She flipped her hand out to direct her monster. Berserkion! Destroy Predaplant Chimera! Berserkion leapt in the air and stabbed the sword down. Applejack shook her head. Not today! I activate Chimera's ability. When it fails, the monster it fights loses 2,000 points, and Chimera gains it back! Chimera's 2 fine mouths swung forward towards Berserkion. I chain my trap card, Magnet Force! The magnetic field pillars around Sugarcoat lit up blue and shot beams of energy towards Berserkion. During your turn, I activate this card. My Rocket Thunder type monsters are unaffected by your monster effects. Sugarcoat gave a small snort. My attack continues. Berserkion swatted aside Chimera's fine mouths and impaled its sword to the main mouth, shattering a spray of electricity. Attack point, Applejack life point 6800. Next, Delta attacks. Delta held his hands up and fired an orb of lightning at Applejack. She raised her arm and braced herself as the attack hits. Applejack life points. 5,200. I set one card and end my turn. Applejack lowered her arm from her face and revealed a small smirk. Not bad. I was expecting a bigger hit, though. What? Sugarcoat frowned. Applejack stood upright. It was pretty obvious you were gearing up for something big. With how you kept searching out all those different monsters, a deck like that doesn't focus on getting all kinds of monsters into play, hoping to have something to do with them. Sure enough, there he is. She put her hand on her hip. But only 3,000 points? I hope he's got a heck of an effect, because that's plain underwhelming. As a matter of fact, he does. Sugarcoat replied, giving a small snort. Now, will you take your turn, or will you continue to insult my monster? You're right. Wonder if he can stop himself from being destroyed. Only one way to find out. Applejack drew. First, I'll use the effect of Common Fester in the graveyard. The turn after it gets destroyed, I can add a fusion card from my deck to my hand. She took her card from her deck and immediately slid into her dual disc. I'll take Fusion Recovery and activate it immediately to get Polymerization and Predator Plant or Free Scorpio back in my hand. Then, I'll summon Scorpio to the field. Applejack flipped the card out from her hand as her Scorpion appeared in front of her. I'll use Scorpio's ability and discard Swirl's Lever from my hand to summon Predator Plant Flat Trap from the deck. The ground in front of Applejack cracked open. A small, spindly vine with hand-like leaves and a pair of jaws formed with two large leaves up from the crack. Attack points 400. Applejack smiled. See that there? That's the monster that's going to take out your Berserkion. Sugarcoat frowned. You must be joking. Nope. Here, I'll show you. I'll use Predator's Fly Trap ability to place a Predator counter on your monster. Fly Trap opened his jaws and shot a glowing purple seed at Berserkion. The seed landed on Berserkion's shoulder and sprouted a tangled mass of green and purple vines. A growth in their center pulsing with purple light. As long as that Predator counter is on your monster, its level stepped down to 1. Applejack pointed. Now, Predator Flat Point attacks Berserkion! Fly Trap lowered to the ground, slithered like a serpent towards Berserkion. Sugarcoat scowled. Are you crazy? Nope. Fly Trap's got a special ability. It's like, anytime it battles a monster with a lower level, that monster gets destroyed instantly. Sugarcoat's eyes widened. No! Fly Trap stopped in front of Berserkion, raised up and opened its jaws. The Predator counter on Berserkion glowed brighter and exploded in a ground of green pores. The spores fell around Fly Trap and took on the same glow as counter. Before Sugarcoat's eyes, Fly Trap grew taller and taller, till it towered over Berserkion, and its jaws were as large as a person. Dove down and snapped its jaws over Berserkion's head. The robot convulsed and exploded in a spray of purple and green spores. Applejack smiled. When Flytrap destroys a monster with that effect, its level increases by its level. Flytrap slumped back to Applejack's field, still glowing. Level 2 to 10. Sugarcoat narrowed his eyes. Berserkion effects activates. When he's destroyed, his component monsters will return from my battle zone. I summoned back my 3 electromagnetic warriors of defense. Pillars of magnetic zone around Sugarcoat conjured 3 orbs of electricity and sent them flowing down in front of her to reform Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Sugarcoat began tapping our dual disc screen. With my monster summons, their activate. Alpha lets me add another copy of Berserkion from my deck to my hand. Beta lets me add Gamma, the Magnet Warrior, to my hand. And Gamma lets me summon Alpha, the Magnet Warrior, from my hand in defense mode. Another robot knelt in front of Sugarcoat, slender and gray with a shield and sword. The sword handle shaped like a magnet, and the emblem of the same on the shield. Attack points 1,400. Applejack nodded. And on your next turn, you'll get 3 of them to bring Berserkion back. Think of a combo. Indeed. Sugarcoat pushed their glasses up. And you destroy that Berserkion, I'll just bring back my Magnet Warriors again. Search out another Berserkion. Yep. Applejack put her hand on her hip. I thought you had sizzle out this plan. Searching out all those different monsters with blade names. They're building up something big. Sugarcoat nodded. You allowed me to do it, because you had the means to get rid of whatever it was I summoned. Not a foolproof plan, but it worked. Applejack held up 2 more cards. I set 2 cards and end my turn. So I presume those cards are something to stop me from calling Berserkion back to the field? Or are they to defend your fly trap so you can use it to destroy Berserkion on your next turn? Maybe. Or I could be bluffing both ways. It'd be about silly of me to make moves that obvious, wouldn't it? Sugarcoat stared at Applejack eagerly. Slowly she smiled. No, you're no fool. Even if I knew what kind of cards those are your best options for a move. So of course you take them. Just as I know, you're probably going to call out Berserkion on your next turn, because that's your best move. Applejack nodded. Well, that's the kind of game this is, ain't it? Move and countermove, anticipate and intercede. Till one of us can't do it any longer and falls behind. Sir Coat nodded back. Poor Camelot Duelist, you've done a decent job of keeping up with me so far. You ain't seen nothing yet, Sugar Cube. Applejack raised her dual disc in front of her and leaned forward. If you want to win this thing, you gotta come at me with everything you've got. When I do, you better be prepared to handle it. Sugar Cube dropped a flourish and smirked. This duel is only just getting started. Part 2. Applejack life points 5,200. Sugar Cube life points 7,900. Sugarcoat drew a slender card in her hand, then took a moment to look at her array of cards. She thought for a moment before lowering her cards and looking at Applejack evenly. The trick now is figuring out what manner of protection those face-down cards offer you. Ain't it? Applejack nodded. Due to the rulings concerning Berserkion's summoning, were you to negate it, if you were to attempt to destroy it as I summon it, its effect to revive its parts will trigger again. I would search another copy of Berserkion with the effect of Alpha the Imaginary Warrior, summon it back immediately. Additionally, you have already seen that destroying my legendary warriors on the field is pointless. Sounds like a medicine from the graveyard to summon Berserkion. Sugarcoat shook her head. I wager then your face-down cards are more to protect your Predaplant Fly Trap, so you can use it to destroy Berserkion to the next turn. Applejack held up her hands. You got me there, Helen. However you plan to protect it, I won't hesitate any further. Sugarcoat flipped out a card from her hand. I banish Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, the electromagnetic warriors, to special summon Berserkion, the electromagnetic warrior. The three robots broke apart and combined to Berserkion once again. The magnetic robot knight and raising its sword, bellowing. I activate Monster Reincarnation and discard Delta, the magnet warrior, to return Berserkion, the electromagnetic warrior, to my hand. Sugarcoat held her hand. Then I activate Berserkion's effect. I banish the Delta, the magnetic warrior, from my graveyard and destroy Flytrap! Berserkion pointed his sword out towards Flytrap. The ghostly image of Delta appeared over the sword and turned to a field of lightning. It condensed at the tip and shot a lightning bolt. Applejack smirked. Fight! You made a mistake there, Helen. You don't think destroying Berserkion is the only way to stop it. I'll reveal my track card! Find this time! That card flipped up, and four black chains emerged from it. He snapped around Berserkion's limbs and pulled it tight, sparking. With this in play, Berserkion can't attack, and its effects are negated. Sugarcoat scowled. There were any number of ways you could have halted Berserkion. Effect negation wasn't one I considered likely. No matter, though. I have two other monsters. She pointed. Delta, the Magnet Warrior, attacks Predaplant Ophrya Scorpio. Delta ran forward, lightning sparking over his right magnet. I reveal my second track, Bamboo Scrap! Scorpion shimmered and exploded, leaving behind two orbs of green light. Delta stopped as it reached the orbs, magnetic striking air. But I offer Scorpion as a tribute. I special summon 2 plant tokens to your field. Green artists floated in front of Sugar Cube and turned to small growths of grass, ice peeking out from them. Attack points 800. I fail to see what purpose that will serve. Sugarcoat folded her arms. I cannot attack your flight trap safely, so I'll end my turn. You got it. Applejack drew, with their card and pointed across the field. Flytrap opened its jaws and spat a green spore onto Delta. The spore struck his chest and grew into a glowing purple and green vine. Applejack swung her hand out. I attack Berserkion with Flytrap! Flytrap chittered and slithered across the field. It reached Berserkion, grew tall enough to overshadow it, and snapped down to bite his head. Berserkion exploded, chains binding it to fade into smoke. A pointless effort. Sugarcoat held her hand over her dual disc. Berserkion's effect activates, returning Alpha, Beta, and Gamma to my side of the field. Sugarcoat's dual disc beat to flash red. What? As she scowled at it, she saw movement on the ground raise her eyes. She gasped. Those? At her feet, the 2 protagonists Applejack had summoned danced in front of her, jumping back and forth. Applejack grinned. Sorry, but with those 2 tokens on your field, along with Alpha and Delta, you have too many monsters. Berserkion's effect is a package deal. You summon all its pieces, or you summon none of them. Sugarcoat gave a sharp nod. So that was the point of those 2 tokens. Clever. But it won't be enough to shut me down yet. I hope not. Applejack crossed her arms. For now, I set 1 card and end my turn. Very well. Sugarcoat took the card and judged it from her deck. You shut down my Berserkion summon loop. Impressive. But that won't be enough to win. She smiled and reached her hand. My deck is full of variable options. I'll show you one now. I bounced Berserker on the graveyard, as well as Alpha the Electromagnetic Warrior, and Gamma the Magnet Warrior from my hand, and special summon Block Dragon. Sugarcoat's three monsters appeared in front of her, burst into shrapnel. The shrapnel turned vibrant colors and gathered together, formed a dragonoid monster made of plastic building blocks, sitting upright on its hind legs with claws of steel held out. Attack points 2500. I switched Alpha the Magnet Warrior into attack mode. Then, Black Dragon attacked Predaplant Flytrap. Black Dragon drew its back and snout and snapped forward, splitting into a cloud of blocky, pixelated red fire. Applejack scrunched her face. What'll that do? Black Dragon's effect will destroy it. No, it won't. Black Dragon's effect prevents rock-type monsters I control from being destroyed by card effects. Since Flytrap can't use its effect, we continue to a normal battle. Crud! Applejack winced. Black Dragon's flame frees Flytrap, and the monster exploded in a ball of fire. Applejack life points 3100. Sugarcoat snorted. You're wide open to attack now. I'm sure you know what comes next. Delta the Magnet Warrior, attack directly! Delta charged forward, magnet ball held out. I had to fight Countergate! Applejack's hand card flipped over to reveal the mirror panel. Mouse wrap negates your attack. Lets me draw a card. If it's a monster, I can summon it. She drew her card and flipped it open. I got Predaplant Spinopia! So I summoned it. The mirror displayed an image of a large green lizard, the skin vibrant like a vine. The mirror shattered. The lizard slipped onto the field with a growl. Mouth formed politely, sprouted from its back and opened, maw quivering. Attack points 1800. Applejack pointed at Delta. I'll use the effect of Spinopia and put a Predator counter on Black Dragon. Spinopia's rear mouth splattered a platform onto Dea. The burst into bright green and purple leaves. Very well, I end my turn. Sugarcoat frowned. You were very fortunate to have drawn that card. You're running a bit low on life points, and even lower on cards. I'll take that look, if it holds out. Applejack drew a card, looked at it, and smiled. It seems to be for now. I defeat Fragrant Storm! This lets me destroy a plant monster in the field and draw a card. You don't seem to want those plant tokens, so let me get rid of those. Sugarcoat looked down, so a token dispersed into leaves. Applejack drew and flipped her card over. I drew Predaplant Murray Necklace! So the effect of Fragrant Storms lets me reveal it to draw again. She drew her circuit card, looked down at it, and grinned. Well, now look at here. She raised her eyes to Sugarcoat. Here's an oldie, but a goodie. I had to fight Mystical Space Typhoon! I used it to destroy my magnetic field. Sugarcoat turned her head to either side. The pillars of the magnetic field were engulfed in three localized windstorms, the metal crumbling, being drawn to the vortex of her head. Now I'm free to attack y'all if I need to. Applejack said with a grin. Yes, but you lack a monster with sufficient power to defeat my Black Dragon. Sugarcoat replied. Well, Blake, Applejack reaches her hand. I'll summon Predaplant Murray Necklace from my hand! Growth of dark brown roots spread in front of Applejack. Two vines on top of blooming into twin mouths. Attack point 1600. Applejack waved the last card in her hand at Sugarcoat. I got one more card left. Might as well use it now. She flipped it over, drew her arm back, and slapped a card onto her tool disc. I had to fight Polo Season! Used to get Spinopia and Murray Necklace! A purple vortex of tendrils and green energy appeared behind Applejack, drew into two monsters. The vortex spun in fast, its light growing. I fused my reptilian predator with my twin-head predator. It unleashed a vicious botanical nightmare! Applejack handed her hand up. A fusion summon, starring Venom Fusion Dragon! She slammed her card into dual disc, the card tray lighting up purple. The ground shook as a massive plant bud grew behind Applejack, rose into the air. It's purple and bursts, so purple and bursts apart, dragon flying out of it, circling the field. Its body was light and green, armored in hard purple growths with thorns emerging from them. Orbs of orange light lit up on its claws and shoulders and wings, pulsing with energy. The dragon stopped its flight above Applejack. A fine light tail lasted in the air and roared. Attack points 2800. The crowd cheered wildly as Applejack pumped her fist. Since I just fused to summon my dragon, it gets an attack boost equal to a special summon monster on your side of the field for the rest of the turn. I choose Black Dragon. An aura of purple energy lit up over Black Dragon. Its trail swirled into Applejack's dragon. The aura's wings grew brighter. Attack points 5300. Applejack thrust her hand out. Starring Venom Fusion Dragon! Attack Black Dragon! Starring Venom Fusion Dragon slipped down and flew forward. God, that's a long name. The orbs covering its body sent streams of energy curling into its mouth, conjuring into a large fireball. The fireball launched and engulfed Black Dragon, a plume of smoke shooting into the air. Sugarcoat looked away, Teeth gritted as her monster melted and exploded. Drink! Circle life points 5100. Circle looked back at her. The effect of Black Dragon activates when destroyed. I can add up to 3 rock-type monsters from my deck, whose total levels are 8. Her card detected. However, I'll only be needing 1. Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior. Star Phantom descended back behind Applejack. I am my turn. Starry Veil loses attack boost for now. Good. Sugarcoat looked at her card, then sat on her dual disc. I activate Trade-In. I discard Berserkion, the Electromagnetic Warrior, in order to draw 2 cards. She looked at her 2 cards and smiled. I place 1 face down. Next, I offer 3 monsters as tribute. The image of a pink robot with magnetic wings appeared in front of her. I combined Beta, the Magnet Warrior, and Gamma, the Magnet Warrior, in my hand with Alpha on the field. They lit up blue and broke apart. On the blue field, the pieces of the 3 began to gravitate towards each other, connecting in new ways. I special summoned Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior! The blue energy field faded around the gigantic steel robot. Magnets set into its joints, forming horns on its head. A large pale wing spread in the air behind it. Sword with a magnet and for a handle was in its hands, the blade gleaming. Attack points 3500. Applejack grimaced. Well, that bats. This bite's even worse. Sugarcoat snapped her fingers. Valkyrion, attacked and destroyed Venom Dagger. Starting Venom. Valkyrion leapt into the air, held up its sword, and lightning struck the blade. Casting a yellow glow, its wielder flew forward and impaled the dragon, lightning shooting into his body. Delta, the Magnet Warrior, direct attack! Delta held up a magnet arm and shot a blast of electricity at Applejack. Drink! Applejack life points 800. Applejack shook her head as the smoke of the attack cleared, air crackling. How'd it go without fight? When Star Veil is destroyed, takes all your special summon monsters with them. The ghostly image of Phantom Dragon flew out of Applejack's dual disc and onto Valkyrion. It convulsed and shattered, its pieces raining to the ground and fading. The planet token in front of Sugarcoat caught flame and further to ash at her feet. Sugarcoat narrowed her eyes. Very well. I ended my turn. Good. Applejack put her hand on her dual disc. This is my last card. Feeling lucky? Yes, Sugarcoat nodded. This duel was entertaining. You put in down her own performance, but the result is the same. Now we're just playing out. You think so? Applejack tensed her arm. Let's see that. She drew a force, holding her card out. She drew it back, looked at it and grinned. Well, let's see how this factors into your victory plans. She placed her card on her dual disc. I had to fight Dragon's Mirror! A large mirror appeared in the air. The wings and claws tails of the dragon curved from its frame. This lets me fast the fusion parts needed to summon a dragon tap fusion monster from my graveyard and summon. I banished Predator Trap, Fly Trap, and Star Fusion Dragon! The mirror pulsed and glowed purple, its surface cloudy. Applejack reached into her dual disc, finger poised. I'll fuse my botanical nightmare, my Converter's Predator, to bring out a toxic terror like no other! The mirror cracked down to stare, the image glowing purple, eyes appearing in either half. I fuse a summon! Greedy Venom, Fusion Dragon! The mirror shattered, and the massive dragon flew out of its frame. His serpentine body was glowing blue, purple, and yellow, streaks of light along its limbs. Wings like the ghost of a plant spread behind it, crackling of energy. A circle floated in front of Applejack. Roaring down with Sugarcoat. Attack points 3300. Great Venom Fusion Dragon! Destroy Delta! Greedy Venom drew back its mouth and fired a jet of purple energy. Sugarcoat raised her arm and braced herself as the attack struck Delta, washing it away. Drake! Sugarcoat life points 3400. I'll end my turn. Sugarcoat lowered her arm. You were able to get off some good hits with those dragons. And to use monsters in your graveyard for diffusion? You're either very lucky to have drawn that card, very skilled to have it in your deck at all. I prefer to think it's the second one, thanks. Applejack put her hand on her hip and gave a small smirk. Perhaps. Fusing using monsters in the graveyard is quite clever of you. Sugarcoat smiled. Please excuse me for copying you. Applejack smirked fast. Say what? Before you end your turn, I reveal my trap card, Necrofusion. As soon as the crystal crab began to shear, Sugarcoat's card flipped up, glowing blue. This trap allows me to conduct a fusion summon by banishing the materials for it from my graveyard. The card generated a blue vortex, electricity cracking. Thus, I banished Berserkion, the Electromagnetic Warrior, and Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior. Sugarcoat leaned forward, light reflecting off her glasses. I combine the energy of the Magnetic Valkyrie and Electromagnetic Berserker to bring forth the ultimate electrical marvel of battle. She grabbed her card from her dual disc. I fusion summon Perion Magnum, the superconductive battle bot! He placed the card on her holographic trade card and lit up a blaze of blue light, using Vortex in front of her whining as a new monster stepped out of it. Composed of both its fusion materials, ran out of pieces of the 6 individual Magnum warriors, merged to form a robotic centaur knight, hooves beating the ground. A massive sword with a guard shaped like a magnet was in his right hand, and a pronged cannon emerged from his left shoulders. Let's just say coursing along its length. Imperial Magnum swung his sword and sent out waves of energy along the ground, bellowing. Attack points 4,000. Imperial Magnum, destroy Green Venom Fusion Dragon! Imperial Magnum drew his sword, galloped forward, jumped up above Green Venom, and descended, swinging his sword point down. The blade impaled Green Venom between his shoulders and pinned it to the ground. Imperial Magnum leaning over it. The cannon on his shoulder hummed and fired a beam of blue energy into the dragon's head, obliterating it. Tonight! Applejack life points 100. Green Venom's a fantastic fights, Applejack called. When he gets destroyed, so does every other monster to play. From the smoke of Green Venom's destruction, a beam of purple energy erupted from Imperium Magnum, robot exploding. Sugarcoat smiled. Thank you. Applejack recoiled. Look. The smoke began to clear, revealing 2 large silhouettes when Imperium Magnum was destroyed. Sugarcoat raised her hand and pushed her glasses up her nose. When Imperium Magnum is removed from the field because of the effect of your cards, I get some of its material components from its deck. Oh, crud. Applejack stepped back. Well, that means... Indeed. Sugarcoat raised her head to look up at the smoke. It is first, revealing the forms of Berserkion and Valkyrion towering over Applejack. Applejack gritted her teeth and turned her head away. Get over with. You do well, Applejack, but not enough. Sugarcoat thrust her hand out. Berserkion! Valkyrion! A direct attack! The 2 Magnet warriors put their swords together and sent an entwined beam of blue electricity towards Applejack. The attacks hit, shot up to the sky in a column of light. Sparks into the air as the light receded. Applejack collapsed to her knees, half falling from the ground as her let her head fall forward. Applejack life points 0. Holograms faded away. Sugarcoat gathered cards from her card tray, and the hologram retracted. There's no shame in losing to a superior foe. At least he made me work for my victory. Applejack reached out the padlock of her hand, brushing it off. Yeah, you got me good. Doesn't make swallowing any easier, know what I mean? No, not really. Sugarcoat strolled back to the crystal prep fence, not looking at Applejack further as he passed her. Blue's voice rang from the speakers. We will now take a brief intermission before the next dude.